Hi guys, this is Salih here from AP Tech, helping you grow further and faster in YouTube. In this channel, we do tips and strategies and also a gear review just like this one here today. So now what I have in my hand is the MacBook Pro 2020 13-inch. So now this MacBook Pro has literally been the talk of my house basically since I've bought this. Now this MacBook Pro, it's not something really unique itself, but to me, where I'm coming from, upgrading from 2011 is a big jump. So that's 9 years in between. So I feel like now this MacBook Pro has its own quirks and some features where I think has literally taken to the next level. But if you're upgrading from 2019, 2018, so there's not major difference. But now what I did was I went a little bit higher and opted some extra features to have this. So in terms of the processor, so I paid a little bit extra, so I didn't go for the base model. So now I'm going to take you in this video a journey where I think that if you're considering buying this, is something that you are making sure that is worth your investment. Again, now this laptop, it's not for everyone. I'm going to go through who is it for, and give you my own opinion, and then some sort of a conclusion what this laptop has its pros and cons, and in that way you can make your own decision. So in this video, basically this is literally my first impression after owning this laptop for over 3 months. I've been using this on a daily basis for work, for self-studies, and also for literally for my YouTube doing video editing. And a lot of the laptops, like for example now this one here 2011, you can't do any video editing regardless of the quality of the video itself. It's like, for example, if it's 4K, forget about it. Okay, as soon as you press play, the whole laptop gets stuck. If it's HD, you might be able to squeeze it depending on the size of the RAM, depending on your processor. But now I'm gonna give you a little bit comparison between the older generation and also the new model. So now, in this video, not only giving you my first impression, as I said, I'll take you a step-by-step where I'm going to give you what I like about this laptop and what I don't like. So now this laptop, the first thing that I like about it is having literally everything compact, like really tiny. Obviously I could have went that when I bought that laptop 2011, that I bought that for studies, so I wanted to have a bigger screen because I was in engineering design, so you need to see your shapes and everything very clear. Now I've got a massive monitor behind me here, which is a 34-inch LG, so I don't need that anymore. So I don't need the big screen on my laptop. And one thing I like about this, in fact, is where I can take this laptop everywhere. I've used it on the train, on the bus, at home, on the sofa. So with this one here, it was very tedious to carry around with you because it's so heavy. Again, back in the days, these ones, they were really thick, so the material is heavy, and on top of that, everything was thick, everything was big. Now if you compare it to 2020 16-inch MacBook Pro, it's a lot lighter than the 15-inch in 2011. So that's something that you could consider. But this is my giveaway to you that when I purchased this, I was going for something small so I could carry it with me. It feels like I'm carrying an iPad. Look how thin it is. Look, that's about it, very thin. So if you compare it to the bigger brother, you can see how thin it is. You can see the size, the gap in between. So that's something that you could think about it. So put it the right way around. Yeah, so you can think about it. So why are you buying this laptop? Are you buying it for studies, for university purpose? Are you buying it for work purpose? Like a lot of people are working from home nowadays. So because of the pandemic, everybody's working from home. So are you buying it for work purpose? Are you buying it for video editing purpose? What are your reasons? So these are the things that you should consider. And then what is your budget? Because now this one here is, as I already mentioned, is not the base model. The base model is going for 1,300. So that's 1,300 in pound. So in US dollars, pretty much the same. So I literally boosted a lot of things like the memory. I boosted the processor itself. So I paid 1,900 for it. So now what is your budget? Are you buying it for for work temporarily. So I would suggest you to go and buy MacBook Air if you're buying it for a work purpose where you don't need video editing, you don't need your processor to be that fast. So if you're buying it for video editing, then I would definitely suggest you to go for a bigger memory size. Your RAM has to be minimum 16 GB. If you're buying it for just for your lifestyle, then definitely go for MacBook Air, which is just under 1,000. Now, ultimately, it all depends on you, because there are some other models like Dell, there are Sony. So there are so many other models where you could actually think of purchasing with a lot less price tag. It doesn't break your bank. Now, Apple, they're unique. I've used this for 9 years now, since 2011. Now we're in 2020, 9 years, and it's still running. You can see from the display that's gone through here. So I've been using it for 9 years and it's still live. So if I had a Dell laptop, I'm sure it would probably last me the maximum, even if I looked after it, maximum 5 years. And then after 5 years, it will be literally not worth using it. Now, the 2011, if you are actually thinking of buying a laptop which you don't have the budget for it, just let's say you had a budget for £500 instead of or $500, so you wanted to go ahead still purchase a Apple laptop, then yes, you can do that. Go online and get yourself a second-hand laptop. 2016, 2018, you could get roughly around £500–600, or you could actually go to Apple Store itself and buy refurbished, which will have a lot of discount. So you could buy an older laptop from Apple and you get 1 year warranty with it, and you could buy that from them. And so that's another option if you're thinking of buying a Apple product itself and you wanted to be having that extra reassurance. Now, if you wanted to buy 2011, it's very hard to get one, but you can get that off eBay instead of, so you can't get it from Apple Store. They don't provide that anymore. So you could get that from eBay. You could potentially get it for somewhere around £300 to £400, depending on the quality itself that's in, the condition that's in, the size, and what sort of upgrades that they have done. So now it's coming down to the things that I don't like. So there are a lot of positive features now, welcoming features that this laptop has. So these are the things like, the favorite one so far is their fingerprint. So it saves you a lot of time in terms instead of typing. So that's something that I really enjoy about it. The touch bar. So the touch bar is really good if you are literally using this laptop, for example, and you're typing something, and then the touch bar, like, look at the, I can increase, decrease, volume, literally everything is touch. Look, you can literally go like that instead of pressing the old version. I can open a new window. There you go, very easy. So now it's all depends on you what you're using it for. So now the simplicity this laptop has reintroduced it. I feel like I'm young again because of the speed. Now that one here is a bigger brother. It has i7 processor, so it's really good. It's quite fast, but it's not as fast as the new MacBook Pro. The new MacBook Pro has a lot of things that I enjoy. The second downside of this MacBook Pro is that the camera. So the camera is pretty much the same as the older brother, 2011. So that's literally, it's not even a full HD, it's 728 megapixel, and that's really bad. So think about it. If you are thinking of actually buying a laptop, I would suggest you to hold off until end of October. I have a feeling, or maybe beginning of next year, I have a feeling that Apple, as the rumors say, that they are going to introduce a 14-inch MacBook Pro that has a slimmer bezels. So if you can see like the bezel from here, look at it. So the Apple haven't actually reduced that. Look at the size of the bezel. So Dell and Sony, they have a really thin bezel. So I don't know why Apple haven't actually took that on board to the 2020 MacBook Pro. So that's something that you should consider before doing anything. So look for all of the rumors that they're suggesting that 14 inch is still coming through. There was a rumor it was supposed to come out 2020 in September, which was this one here when this one came out, but it didn't come out. So the rumor, it wasn't that accurate. But now I have a feeling that the 14-inch is still coming through, and if that comes through, then that will be a winner for everyone, because that 14-inch, it sits in between the 13-inch, which is quite small for some people, and then the 16-inch, which is quite big for some people, and it sits right in between, very fit. So now, what are the things? Again, you could always have like reasons. What are your reasons? If your pros outweigh your cons, then go ahead. If your cons outweigh your pros, then don't actually, because you will be buying something where you're not going to be satisfied, and you've literally overspent something that is not worth the value. If you ask me, is this worth the value? I was actually in a desperate situation where this laptop wasn't fit for its purpose, and hence why I purchased this one and didn't wait for the 14-inch. So again, I could always return this because under 1 year, and then just put extra fee and buy the 14-inch if the 14-inch does come out in October. So that's something that I'm always considering. If you're actually thinking of buying, then go ahead and buy one. But if your budget is very low, let's say $1,000, and you can't afford 1300, the base model of MacBook Pro, then go ahead with a MacBook Air. So to conclude this video, I wouldn't actually give you go ahead only for MacBook Pro or MacBook Air. There are some other options that you could think through. So Dells are really good. So think through Dell. Think for what are your purpose? What are your needs? Are you looking for ergonomics, something that can last you long? If you're a student, I know most of the students, they tend to use a MacBook Pro, but there are some downsides where, because it doesn't have window, you might not able to upload some softwares that is not compatible to Apple. So like myself, when I was at the university, so I purchased this laptop. I ended up putting a boot camp partitioner where I was using the window one side, and then the other side I had the Apple iOS itself. So that was a down issue. So this might be a deal breaker for those who are thinking for studies purpose, where they need to use some sort of a software. So do your research. Is Apple compatible to those softwares that you might be studying? So now think about that. So I hope this video was useful. If you did like it, please do let us know in the comment. And if for some reason you didn't like this video, don't feel shy. You could always put the thumb down. That would give me some sort of a feedback, what videos are doing good and which ones are not doing so good. So if you actually enjoyed watching this video, let us know by hitting the like button. And if you're new in this channel, consider subscribing. This will help the channel grow a lot faster, and we're going to basically create some extra videos for yourself, and that way it encourages us and it lets us know that a lot of people are actually finding these videos useful. Thank you very much for joining us today. Peace out.